Cannabis Common Sense, the show that tells the truth about marijuana and the politics behind its prohibition.
Hello and welcome to another exciting edition of Cannabis Common Sense. This show is a production of our nonprofit organization, the Hemp and Cannabis Foundation, or THCF, and its affiliated political committee, CRRH, or the Campaign for the Restoration and Regulation of Hemp. We have a great show for you tonight. Mr. Tim Pate and Don McFadden are here to provide musical accompaniment. Don Dupay, retired Portland police detective, past runner-up candidate for Multnomah County Sheriff here in Portland, and a medical marijuana activist, is here, and we'll be taking your phone calls a little bit later. Stand by. We've got a great show for you, but as we always do, we're going to start off the show with the infamous Dancing Cannabis Leaves. Okay, for our Hemp News segment tonight, our first story is out of San Francisco, California. Public support for legalizing cannabis would increase significantly if a roadside field sobriety test were widely available to detect drivers' impairment by cannabis, according to survey data published in the Harm Reduction Journal. Investigators at the University of Albany, State University of New York, analyzed national polling data of 1,002 registered voters regarding their attitudes toward taxing and regulating cannabis. The respondents were first asked, do you agree or disagree that marijuana should be legally taxed and regulated like liquor, tobacco, and gambling? The respondents were then asked, if police had a roadside impairment test for marijuana like the one they use for alcohol, would you support or oppose marijuana being legally taxed and regulated like liquor, tobacco, and gambling? The Zogby International poll conducted this poll, and 36% of respondents said they supported legalizing marijuana when initially polled. Public support for taxing and regulating cannabis jumped to 44% with the additional provision of roadside impairment test. The investigators noted, however, that this increased support was not uniformly from those who had previously disagreed with the question. According to the authors, they concluded, quote, with the widespread use of roadside impairment tests, many voters may alter their perceptions regarding the legalization and regulation of cannabis. Campaigns that educate registered voters about the existence of roadside impairment tests for cannabis have the potential to increase support for reform, end quote. Although police and drug recognition experts in some states have modified standardized field sobriety tests, or SFST, to assess whether drivers may also be under the influence of cannabis, such testing is not yet widely available. Mitch Earlywine, who co-authored the study, said that behavioral testing such as modified roadside sobriety tests are preferable to bodily fluid testing for cannabis. The latter tests, though far more widely utilized, are invasive and typically focus on past use rather than evidence of current impairment, Earlywine said. According to previous studies of on-road crash data, past use of cannabis, also indicated by the presence of marijuana metabolites in the urine, is not associated with an elevated risk of accident. By contrast, drivers who test positive for THC in the blood, above 5 nanograms per milliliter, indicating a recent use of cannabis, are typically associated with an elevated risk of accident compared to drivers who test negative for cannabis or test positive for levels of THC in the blood below 5 nanograms per milliliter. A case-controlled study published last month in the Canadian Journal of Public Health reported that U.S. drivers involved in fatal crashes who had trace levels of cannabis in their blood or urine were less likely to have engaged in risky driving behavior than drivers who tested positive for low levels of alcohol. The full text of this new study, called Roadside Sobriety Test and Attitudes Toward Regulating Cannabis Markets, is available online from the Harm Reduction Journal at www.harmreductionjournal.com. Our next and last story this evening comes from the University of California at San Diego and their newspaper called The Guardian and written by Jacqueline Snow. University of California at San Diego has entered the controversial medicinal marijuana argument, providing funding for a new study that found that smoked cannabis substantially reduced pain in AIDS patients in the face of the federal government's position that smoked marijuana has no medical value. A recent UC San Francisco study focused on patients with a painful nerve condition in their hands and feet. The condition, called peripheral neuropathy, is characterized by constant burning in the bottoms of the feet and hands. In the double-blind study, half the patients receiving cannabis cigarettes with tetrahydrocannabinol, or THC, reported a 30% drop in pain, twice that of patients on a placebo, a cigarette with no THC. University of California at San Diego reviewed the proposal from Donald Abrams, the study's lead author, and provided the funding. 30% of AIDS patients suffer from peripheral neuropathy, a condition that has no FDA-approved treatment, forcing patients to go on anti-seizure medications to relieve that pain. Despite the hurdles of conducting a medicinal marijuana study, which included getting permission from 8 government agencies, Igor Grant, the executive director of the Center for Medicinal Cannabis Research at the University of California at San Diego, said there has been no resistance in carrying out the study. According to Grant, he said, quote, "The fact that this was set up as a scientific research study under the umbrella of the University of California, as well as a very stringent review process from outside experts, satisfies their critics," end quote. The marijuana was procured from a federally sanctioned field at the University of Mississippi in Oxford, Mississippi. The subjects were given 3 marijuana cigarettes a day with THC levels of 3.56%, which is considered a low level. However, Abrams stated that the patients did get the high associated with cannabis. The White House Office of National Drug Control Policy website states that, quote, "marijuana as a smoked product is never proven to be medicinally beneficial and, in fact, is much more likely to harm one's health," end quote, a position that this study disputes. According to Bruce Merkin, a spokesman for the Marijuana Policy Project, he said, quote, "It's time for the government to wake up and smell the data. We consider this to be very significant evidence underlying, frankly, what other people already knew, that marijuana is capable of relieving certain types of pain that don't respond well to conventional treatments," end quote. The White House Office of National Drug Control Policy supports research with cannabinoid-based drugs such as Marinol, but CMCR hopes to study cannabis and products used by the general population. According to Mr. Abrams, he said, quote, "Cannabis has many other potentially beneficial components beyond Delta-9 THC," end quote. In 1999, Governor Gray Davis established the CMCR, headquartered at the University of California at San Diego, with the University of California at San Francisco as a partner. Abrams' study was the first of its kind, completed with taxpayer funds at a cost of $849,000. A total of $8.7 million has been directed to the program since its launch in the year 2000. Though the trial was small, Grant sees this study as very promising for the medicinal marijuana community. Grant said, quote, "The continued study could help solve the marijuana debate in the future. We'll have some good scientific data one way or the other." So again, that's a story from The Guardian, publication at UC San Diego. It was published yesterday, March 1st, 2007. We are going to a musical interlude now, where you'll see some juicy photos from the THCF Medical Marijuana Garden. So we have Mr. Tim Pate and Mr. Don McFadden. How are you folks this evening?
I'm not as good as a juicy photo, but I'm doing okay.
All right. We'll have some juicy photos up there, and hit it, guys.
All right, we will. This is a song that Don wrote.
Well, I asked the farmer, what are these seeds? If I plant them just right, will they fill all my needs? If I water them faithfully under the sun, Well, they raised from the earth so I can see what I've done. He said, seeds you sow or seeds you grow, nature never lets you down. The seeds you sow or seeds you grow, nature never lets you down. I asked my lady, why all the tears? Did I use the wrong words? Did it bring out your fears? Could it be my religion or the way that I dress? Well, whatever it is, made you unhappy, I guess. You see, seeds you sow or seeds you grow, nature never lets you down. The seeds you sow or the seeds you grow, nature never lets you down. Well, I asked the farmer, what are these seeds? If I plant them just right, will they fill all my needs? If I water them faithfully under the sun, will they raise from the earth so I can see what I done? He said, the seeds you sow or the seeds you grow, nature never lets you down. The seeds you sow are the seeds you grow, and nature never lets you down. He said the seeds you sow are the seeds you grow, and nature never lets you down. The seeds you sow are the seeds you grow, and nature never lets you down.
That was a good one. So if you're watching on the night of the 2nd of March, 2007, we are taking phone calls. You can call us at 503-288-4448. That's 503-288-4448. How are you doing this week, Don?
Doing fine, Paul.
Good.
Been doing a little gardening.
I can see that. Got a little flower there.
A little flower from the Hemp Street Medical Garden here.
I thought I had brought a nice one, but yours is bigger than mine. Oh, well.
I'm sorry, I didn't know you were coming with one.
Oh, well,
I
that's
cut
okay.
A smaller one.
That's okay. That's a
Is
good
that
one.
cola envy?
I guess so.
Probably,
Something
yeah.
like that.
It's grown with CO2 and a lot of country music and a lot of love. I think it's a big indica is what I think it is.
You could well be right. Looks pretty darn good there. So, the medical studies keep pouring in about the medical efficacy of cannabis. We had another story tonight. It seems like we have one every week, but the White House just doesn't recognize that. It's pretty crazy. We do have a caller, though. Hello, caller. You're on the show.
Yes, this is Sid. I'm your patient for 6 years, Paul Stanford.
Howdy.
This is call for Paul Stanford. I welcome you and I appreciate what you're doing and all that.
Well, thank you.
And when I was a patient when you had this thing started with Dr. Levesque and all that, I even talked to him lately. And so I've been 4 or 5 years, and now I tried the Marinol, and that didn't work, and even the Sesamet, I have it right here, SESMET, 1 mg, 2 pills a day. But the thing is that the nausea is so severe with my condition with chronic depression and bowel movement problems that I couldn't cope with that, and so I have to use the medicine. I still have your permit until the end of this year.
Mm-hmm.
So I was wondering if somebody could donate any medicine or Crohn's, I would appreciate, and I can give you the number if you can call me and somebody could...
So the Marinol didn't really work for you. The capsules, they didn't work. But
no,
the medical,
Marinol
the
is
buds like this, these do
gel pill,
work.
Yeah, the gel pill Marinol did not work, and the Sesame is a capsule that just came in, and I tried those for 3 months now. And
they're pretty expensive,
they were
aren't
very
they?
slow, very expensive, more than Marinol. I mean, the pill is like, you won't believe it, it comes out to $2,000 a month if you pay retail, but with the insurance of my wife, I pay $25 to the co-pay to any of the pharmacy here. But I think with the real medicine and the real medicine pill is very different, because my nausea always affect with the real plant, and these are both synthetic. This is synthetic, the other was synthetic. Mm-hmm. So I would appreciate if Paul Stanford, you could take my number through some of your colleagues and help me, give me 1 or 2 Crohn's or some donation medicine for
Okay, we want
months.
you to call that number that's there on your screen, and we'll get back to you there, if that's okay.
Yeah,
we
that's
don't want to do it here on the air. It'd be a little overwhelming here. So call that number at our office. It's 503.
I'm your patient, and I think I remember I've been in all your programs and everything.
Sure, yeah, I do.
And I think you can look me up, since I was I'm already on Social Security disability.
Okay, just call that number there on your screen, and we'll get back in touch with you. I'm pretty sure I know who you are, but you probably shouldn't start saying your name over the air.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that, and
all right.
I welcome you very much, and thank you for all the effort that you have done for the community and society.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Thank
Keep
you.
trying.
Bye.
It's difficult for patients to find medicine, get their growth going, and
It is.
especially if they don't have, the funds to get all the equipment. Even if they do, it's a learning curve. It really takes a while to learn how to do it right.
It is a learning curve, and we can help them out because we teach growing classes.
That's true. We do.
And
those.
you can learn how to grow this yourself.
And how to make medicinal grade cannabis hash.
If you come down to our growing classes, which we're going to teach again this month. So we certainly invite you to come and participate in learning how to do this.
Yeah. So
5 years ago, I didn't know how to do this.
I remember it well. I remember your first plants there by the field out there on Sophie's Island. And they've gotten better and better. Yes. And there is a learning curve. So you, too, can take those classes. We have them once a month. You're helping teach them along with the medicine man, Andrew, who's doing those and answering the phone there in the background, too. So if you have a question for us tonight, you can call us at 503-288-4448. That's 503-288-4448. You know, there was this activist in Colorado who'd been running a dispensary, Ken Gorman. About 2 weeks ago, he had the local news channel come in and talk to him about his medicinal marijuana garden. 3 days later, he was subjected to a home invasion and he was shot and killed just after having his garden on television. So we've got to be real careful about the addresses we put out there for public consumption and the faces we show regarding that, because there's some very unethical people out there who'd take advantage of folks like they did to poor Ken Gorman in Denver, Colorado. So I want to urge people, loose lips can sink ships, and you've got to be very careful out there. So take that with a grain of salt.
Take that to heart.
Yep. We have another caller. Hello, caller. You're on the show.
Hey, I was wondering if I could qualify for medical marijuana because I'm almost 21 years old and I've already had 2 heart attacks. And it helps my heart rate stay down and keeps me from having panic attacks and stuff like that. Well,
heart conditions don't qualify like that. In fact, there are some contraindications for people with heart conditions. You should probably look into it a little bit further, but that condition doesn't qualify. Sorry to tell you. Yeah, anxiety and depression, those conditions where it's very useful for them, only qualify in the state of Colorado. I mean, no, California. A lot of people in California can get it for those conditions, but that's the only state that it's permitted. There's been attempts to have it added to the list of conditions in Oregon and Washington and Hawaii and Colorado, but so far all of those attempts have been turned down by the state regulatory officials, different medical boards in different states. That's the way it works.
Okay, well, I'll look into that more. Thank you for your help.
You're welcome. Sorry we couldn't be a little bit more help. If you have a question for us tonight, give us a call at 503-288-4448. We'll be taking your calls right up to the top of the hour. So we've got our hemp cereal out here again. It's always popular with the crew and folks around here. Tasty. So we've heard that Radical Russ Belville's Air America show, you're going to have a live version of that tomorrow morning, I believe. If you have internet, you can go online and look at it at www.am/360klsd.com. That's www.am/360klsd.com. I guess KLSD is a station down in San Diego, hence the SD, yes. But the LSD is a little bit suggestive, isn't it?
Yes.
A hallucinatory station there. But the Radical Russ Show, this is his first one, and it should be pretty interesting. So,
yes, it'll be a good one.
Yeah, I guess he's gearing up for going nationwide here in April.
Gosh.
So we're excited for him.
One of our own.
Real well. Yeah, goes big time. So congratulations, Russ. We're plugging for you here. Certainly made it pretty far. We have another caller. Hello, caller. You're on the show.
Hey, thank you.
Sure. What's going on?
I just wanted to thank you guys for what you guys are doing. And I wanted to let you know that there's a lot of people out there that really do support you, whether or not they speak out or
Sure.
they're kind of subdued. I just want to let you know that they do believe. And
I appreciate that.
To Tim Pate, this is Casey, and I gave you some pictures, and I'm just wanting to know if you got those to Paul.
I actually got them to our producer, and he is, if he hasn't done it already, he was going to put them on digital so we could use them during the show, yes.
Perfect.
You're welcome.
That's cool.
More pictures are always wonderful.
That's perfect. And I got some more going, and I got some more to contribute to the Oregon Normal this coming up this Saturday, and it fills my heart with glee to help other people. And I see that that's what you guys do on this show, and I appreciate everything that you do. And so at
Thank
that
you.
point, I'll get off.
All right. Well, thanks for your call, and thanks for your support. We appreciate it.
Probably a good time to tell them that the next Oregon Normal meeting will be held at the Newborn Tribe facility on MLK and Fremont Street.
That's 3525 Northeast MLK Boulevard.
Not very far from the studio, actually.
Not tomorrow, but next weekend.
Next second Saturday of the month, that's where they will be.
Yep. Next Saturday, high noon.
High noon, yeah.
I wonder if they're going to lock the doors up the same way they did at the previous spot. We'll see.
We'll see.
So if you have a question for us, give us a call at that number that's there on your screen. If you are someone you think might qualify for medical marijuana, or you want to get involved in the movement to end adult marijuana prohibition, restore industrial hemp, or help medical marijuana patients, then you can call our office. In Portland, the office number is 503-235-4606. That's 503-235-4606. If you're up in Seattle, and this show's now airing every Thursday night at 11 p.m. on cable channel 77 in Seattle, then you can call us at the Seattle number. It's 206-878-1701. That's 206-878-1701. Then we also have an office in Denver, Colorado, and this show airs every Tuesday and Thursday night on cable channel 58 in Denver at 11 p.m. And the number in Denver is 303-403-9996. That's 303-403-9996. And if you're outside of the Denver, Seattle, or Portland metropolitan areas, then we have doctors who can help you across the West in Oregon, Washington, California, Colorado, and Hawaii. Call us for that doctor referral. The toll-free number is 1-800-723-0188. That's 1-800-723-0188. We have another caller. Hello, caller. You're on the show.
Hi. I was wondering, how do I, are you supposed to see the vapor that comes out of a vaporizer? Because I just got one.
Well, at first, a lot of times you don't see it, but then it gradually gets a little denser, and then it fades away, and that's when it's time to replace the chamber. What kind did you get?
I got a Voodoo.
Uh-huh. Do you like it?
Yeah, I do, actually. It's really
Good.
nice.
Good. I haven't tried that one.
You have?
But I'll tell you, the best vaporizer is the one you can use, you know, and the one that you do use. A lot of people get them, and they sit on the shelf. They really help in terms of breathing, and I think they make your marijuana go a lot farther because you get twice as much out of it when you vaporize it compared to smoking. Then you can still eat it for pain, spasms, and seizures after you vaporized it.
Oh, right on.
Okay, well, we can hear your television. It's echoing back throughout the studio here. But I appreciate you calling.
Okay.
All right, have a good night. Good
right,
luck with your
thank you.
vaporizer. I like my vaporizer. I'd been smoking for 30 years.
Yes.
And about 5 years ago, 5 years in August, I got a Volcano vaporizer, and I quit smoking. And within about 3 weeks, the wheezing and the coughing and the phlegm all went away for me. And that's a lot better. I like breathing. Breathing's a good thing. It's hard to get around if you can't breathe. So, has Frank come in here to join you, Tim? And
Well, he showed up, but we didn't get a chance to do a sound check, so.
Uh-oh.
Yeah,
That makes it more difficult.
It does.
Well, he tried.
I know.
He tried.
Is here.
Hey,
He's
Frank.
in the house. Elvis is in the building.
Elvis is here. Elvis has been sighted. Well, you ready to launch into another song?
We'd be happy to do anything you'd ask.
All right. Just go right ahead, and we'll be back in just a moment.
All right.
Take phone calls.
If you want to dance to this one, you'll have to do it slow. I'll tell you an old story about out in the cold crying. Well, there was a man who had a love, of course. Then one night he just left without a fight. He's out in the cold crying. He's out in the cold crying. He's out in the cold. There was a woman, a lover I'm told. She just went right out that same door. She's out in the cold crying. She's out in the cold crying. She's out in the cold.
So if you're gonna dance to this one, you better do it slow. You look like that old story. You'll be out in the cold, crying. You'll be out in the cold, crying. You'll be out in the cold.
These guys are good.
These guys are
Thank you.
good.
Yeah, you guys do a great job. I appreciate it. We do have Radical Russ Belville right here on the line. Surprise. Hello, Russ.
Hey, Paul, Don, how you doing?
Oh,
Real well. You got through.
I got through it. I just, must have dialed at the right time.
I guess so.
Hey, I just wanted to call to remind people about, the legislative sessions going on and how there's about 9 or 10 different bills in the legislature right now that would increase drug testing throughout the state. We're talking about drug testing to get unemployment, drug testing to be a public school teacher, drug testing, just to join the legislature. And a lot of these bills don't have any exceptions for medical marijuana patients. So people should be aware of that. And you can check out our website at ornormal.org. That's ornorml.org. We've got all the bills up there. There are some good ones, too. We've got an industrial hemp bill and one for medical marijuana patients' right to work. So I just want to encourage everyone to get involved and get active.
Yeah, that's a good point. Thanks for bringing that up.
I
Once again,
also
those are all
want to
the
make
Oregon bills for our viewers who are outside of Oregon. Well, there's good bills out there in other states as well. In Washington, we urge people to support 3062. That's Senate Bill 3062, which would make the medical marijuana law up in Washington a lot stronger, too.
Yeah. I also wanted to make just a little personal plug here. The debut episode of the Radical Russ radio show, the national radio show that I won the talk contest for, we're doing a demo show live on the air tomorrow at 6 a.m. Pacific time.
Right.
It's only going to be broadcast on KLSD in San Diego, which
Right.
I thought that was kind of interesting to get KLSD.
Yeah, we were just joking about that a minute ago.
Yeah. So we'll be on the air. So if you want to listen to it here in Portland or Washington or Denver or any of the other areas, it'll be online at their website, am1360klsd.com. If there's a problem with that website, you can also try billpressshow.com. That's billpressshow.com. I'm also going to put up a live chat window. So if you want to get on the internet and send me questions or just chat online, we'll have that too available. I'll post details on my website, radicalruss.net. So
I see.
Thanks everyone for your support, and I'll just let you go. And thanks for doing all you do, guys.
All right, well, thank you.
Russ.
Thanks for your call.
Right on.
So, Don, you have an editorial for us this evening?
I do, Paul. It's been a long time since I talked about our friends at LEAP, Law Enforcement Against Prohibition. So since I originally joined about 3 years ago, it's gotten bigger and bigger and bigger. So LEAP, L-E-A-P, means Law Enforcement Against Prohibition. And it is an increasingly growing group of law enforcement professionals that realize that the war on drugs is a total abject failure. It's not a war on drugs, but it is a war on our children, a war on our parents, and a war on ourselves. LEAP was started by a retired policeman named Jack Cole. He was a narcotics officer with the New Jersey State Police. He and I had similar backgrounds. I joined the Portland, Oregon Police Bureau in 1961. He joined the New Jersey State Police in 1964. We both worked vice and narcotics before there really was a war on drugs. And it wasn't much of a drug problem back in those days either. No marijuana here in Portland to speak of. There were about 20 heroin addicts then, and the cops knew where they all lived. Then Richard Nixon came along, and the war on drugs really took off when he ran for president in 1968. He got Congress to fund it, and then what happened was any police department willing to get involved got massive funding. And the New Jersey State Police narcs went from 7 men to 76 men. That started the war on drugs. If it ever needed a boost, that's what did it. Both the demand and the price then kept going up. By the middle 1970s, there were so many heroin addicts here in Portland, they started the methadone program. Heroin is easier to kick and not as hard on the body, so I think they should have stuck with the heroin anyway. The war on drugs had the effect of creating a worldwide, multi-billion-dollar industry. Marijuana sold here in the 70s for about $120 a kilo. Now it's $320, $350 an ounce on the black market. Arresting drug dealers and shooting drug dealers has never had any effect. Lock one up and you haven't solved anything except created a job opening for the next guy in line. Because when it comes to drugs, the only law that counts is the law of supply and demand. After 30 years of throwing trillions of dollars at the drug problem and building more and more prisons, anyone with a modicum of common sense knows that the war on drugs hasn't worked. The United States has 4.6% of the world's population, and we've got 22.5% of the prisoners. What happened to the land of the free? If you guys remember Will Rogers, he said, if you find yourself in a hole, the first thing to do is to stop digging. That's what I think you do. There should stop throwing money at this war on drugs. The war's lost. You guys in the White House need to throw up the white flag and stop it. Well then, legalize drugs? Gulp, gulp. Can we do that? Won't everybody use drugs then? Won't we become a nation of drugged out zombies? No. Drugs were legal in this country until 1914. How did we get through the first 200 years? In Holland, where pot's legal, 28% of the 10th graders have tried it. In America, where it's not legal, 41% of the 10th graders have tried it, because Holland made it boring. They took the black market out of the equation. What we've done here with this brilliant strategy is take weeds, and that's what we're talking about here, simply weeds, marijuana from the hemp plant, cocaine from the cocoa bush, heroin from the opium poppy, and they were weeds with zero value until we made them illegal. Then the value becomes astronomical. What would happen when we legalized drugs? There wouldn't be any more drug market. No one would be selling drugs because you couldn't make any money at it. No one would be committing crimes because, well, drugs would be free. No dealers would be shooting other dealers. When's the last time you heard about 2 beer distributors shooting it out over who's going to get to supply beer to the tavern? Never. But they used to when it was prohibited. And then finally, I agree with retired Officer Cole that says a policy that we have to arrest our children and sick people in order to save them is bullshit. And that's the way I see it tonight, right down here on Hemp Street.
Thank you, Don. Some very good points there indeed. You know, it's the forbidden fruit syndrome.
It is.
Once they make it prohibited.
It gets expensive.
Yep, that too. Hey, if you have a call for us tonight, you can call us at 503-288-4448. We'll be taking your calls right up the top of the hour. How long is that bud there? It's like...
well, I don't know, Paul. You got a measuring
I think it's like
stick?
18 inches.
Yeah, probably.
About an 18-inch flower there. Maybe 2 inches across.
Yeah, I don't know how it shows up on TV, but...
Well, once again, it's too bad you folks don't have smell-o-vision, because you would love the aroma of these if you like this sort of thing.
When the lights shine down on it, you can see the sparkles, too, from the TV lights. Yeah.
It's so pretty.
It's just a weed.
It's just a weed. We have another caller, though. Hello, caller. You're on the show. Hello.
Hello.
Is that me?
That's you.
Oh, okay. I see why people are confused all the time. It's hard to tell.
Yeah.
Anyway, I've been on the program since about 1999. John Sajo got me started. I'm sure you all know John Sajo.
Yeah.
Cool dude.
He got me started, too.
Right on. And anyway, I've been seeing the same doctor since then. He's not a doctor. I'm the only person that he actually recommends marijuana for, so he's not usually doing it for people, but he's an enlightened doctor. But he stopped taking the Oregon Health Plan. So today I had my first appointment with my new doctor on the Oregon Health Plan, and he says he thinks it's a great idea, but he's not allowed to recommend it. So I was wondering what's up with that.
I don't know. I don't know. Who does he work for?
Family care.
So family care tells him he's not allowed to do that? Why?
That's what he said.
Well,
they get federal money, and that's what I said to him, and he just sort of nodded.
Well,
and I've had another person who's on the Oregon Health Plan, I think Providence, and she said the same thing happened with her doctor.
Yeah, I know Providence, being a faith-based hospital chain. The sisters who run it don't favor medical marijuana. They won't help with abortions either. But
family care too, evidently.
That's why there are a number of doctors out there that we refer patients to. Yeah. They have a sliding scale, but still it costs some money. It's not all covered by the OHP. There's also a state fee. If you have the Oregon Health Plan in Oregon, that state fee is $20. If you don't, though, the state fee is $100, and that's an annual fee.
Yeah. No, that does help. I appreciate the $20 for the Oregon Health Plan.
Sure. It saves $80. That's always a good thing. But we do have doctor referrals, and we can help you if your doctor won't.
Right on. I may have to take you up on that.
All right.
I stopped by Oregon Green Free today because they're like right across the street from where my doctor is. And I'll stop by where you guys are too.
Okay.
I really appreciate what you do. I'll let you go.
Thanks.
Thanks for
We're
calling.
glad to do it.
Thank you.
Here in the Portland area, just give us a call at 503-235-4606. We have physician referral service and several different doctors who can help patients who have a qualifying condition get medical marijuana permits from their state. So we're happy to help with that. If you have a call for us tonight, you can call us. It is the 2nd of March, 2007. We'll be taking your calls for about another 10-15 minutes, so you can call us at 503-288-4448. That's 503-288-4448.
March is here. April's not far away. Outside planting time is sneaking up on us.
That's true. The outdoor season comes up here. Once you get up to 13 hours of daylight or better, then the plants aren't going to bud and they're going to start growing. So I'm getting ready. How about you?
Oh, I remember I told you I got that Jack Hare just sitting waiting for ceremonial planting.
Just let me know when the ceremony is. We'll come and bless it. We have another caller, though. Hello, caller. You're on the show.
Hello.
Hello, caller.
Hello.
Yes.
Am I on?
You are.
Yeah, you guys are breath. That's how you get the marijuana into your system. Turns out most cultures, spirit and breath are the same word.
Yeah.
The same concept.
That's true.
Dr.
Chinese
Weil,
is that way.
EIL, has a really neat double CD on breath. And can really change how you look at things, because breath is how you connect with everything. It's what keeps you alive. So you have a direct connection to your spirit. If you're taking in the medication, that's what the body needs. But you can also do it just through different types of breath. So for those who want to, check out Dr. Weil, W-E-I-L, breathing. Thanks for the addition of the keyboards.
Yeah, Dom's great, isn't he? Thank you. He's real good over there. Yeah, there are several different ways you can inhale it. I recommend vaporization. It has a lot less coughing involved.
Yeah, yeah. The first one they made was Tilt, and it came out of MIT back in the 70s.
Really?
They did a full workup with acid wash and everything, 80% less tar and nicotine, only like down to, took out almost all the impurities. And yeah, you can eat it.
Yeah,
oh, cool.
For pain and spasms and seizures, and for neurodegenerative diseases like ALS or Parkinson's disease or multiple sclerosis or Alzheimer's, eating works better than this inhalation does.
I got one joke. You know what they call the Clinton era?
Well, what?
Between the bushes.
That's pretty good.
Thank you.
I like that.
Bye.
Thanks for your call. Between the bushes. Well, hopefully we'll trim those bushes. Looks like you trimmed this one just a little bit. The burning bush. Got that too. Okay, well, we're down to just about 10, 12 minutes left to go here. If you're out there and you think you or a loved one might qualify for medical marijuana, but your doctor won't do it, their clinic won't allow them, for some reason they don't know about it, we have doctors who can help all across the western United States. In Washington, Oregon, California, Colorado, and Hawaii. Give us a call. We have a referral service. Just call us in Portland, 503-235-4606. That's 503-235-4606. In Seattle, the number up there is 206-878-1701. That's 206-878-1701. If you're up in Denver, Colorado, the number there is 303-403-9996. That's 303-403-9996. And then we have our toll-free number. If you're outside of Denver, Seattle, and Portland, but you want a referral in Oregon, Washington, California, Hawaii, or Colorado, call us at 1-800-723-0188. That's 1-800-723-0188. Be happy to help. Also, you can call us to get involved in the movement to end adult marijuana prohibition and restore industrial hemp. If you're here in the Portland area, we could use your help on the Hemp Stock Festival, which is coming up on September 8th and 9th. We're looking for people who can drive wheelchairs around. If you have a van, you can transport some wheelchairs. Give us a call at 503-235-4606. Then again, the Oregon Normal meeting is coming up next Saturday. That's March the 10th. If you're a medical marijuana patient, you need help finding a caregiver, you need plants to get your garden going, or you need medicine. Last month they had some real neat Valentine's chocolates. They were real tasty. Then go on down to the new tribe at 3525 Northeast MLK. That's at high noon. You want to be there early. 11:30 to noon on Saturday, March the 10th at 3525 Northeast Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard. Let's see. We've got classes. If you need help and you have a medical marijuana permit and you want to take a beginning gardening class to grow medical marijuana, you want to take advanced gardening, you want to know how to make medicinal grade hashish, then you can give us a call here at 503-235-4606. We'll be happy to help you with that, too. We have another caller, though. Hello, caller. You're on the show.
Well, greetings there.
Howdy.
Mr. Sanford and Detective Don DeVay. This is Brother Johnson.
Hello there.
How you doing, Brother Johnson?
Yeah, I got a question I need to ask you concerning when you change caregivers. You know, they're growing for you, their medicine, and when you change the medicine that they're growing for you, aren't they supposed to return that medicine over to you?
Yeah, they certainly can. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, but I wonder what happened to mine. you know who my caregiver was, and I never did get any. So I wonder what happened.
Well, I recommend you just give them a call and try to figure that out. There's just no doubt, but direct communication can help. So that's the way to do that. All right. If you have a question for us, we got about 5 minutes to go.
Yeah.
It's you can call us at 503-288-4448. That's 503-288-4448. 4448. We'll be taking your calls right up to the top of the hour here. So, we've talked about the classes, the Oregon normal meeting next week. What else?
We wave this around a little more.
We can. We can show the buds. We make these guys play more music, I guess, but it's a little early for that. So, there you have it. Yes, if you you guys want to launch into a song? No, you're not ready yet.
Oh, we're always ready.
I'll beat you with this.
Right.
A whole song, half song, 3/4 a song.
3/4.
3/4.
Yeah.
I'm with you, Tim.
All right. That was pretty darn good. Okay.
Without rehearsal, too.
Oh, rehearsal? What's that?
You guys rehearse? Yeah, that's good. That's good. Well, let's talk a little bit about vaporization. It's a great alternative to smoking. There are studies that show that when marijuana is burned, it actually destroys most of the medicine that is in it. And they say that water pipes destroy the most in the burning process. They say 75% of the medicine is destroyed in a water pipe before it can be inhaled. So you're just getting 25% of the medicine out of the herb and into your system. And so a pipe is a little bit more efficient. It just destroys 60% of the medicine before it can be inhaled. Then for a cigarette's the next most efficient way to smoke it. That destroys about 50%. But in a vaporizer, none is destroyed, and you can inhale up to 95% of it, depending on how thoroughly it's vaporized. Then it can still be eaten when it's done. Yeah, we had the conditions up there. If you have AIDS, cancer, glaucoma, a seizure disorder like epilepsy, a spastic condition like multiple sclerosis, then you can qualify for medical marijuana. Hep C as well, Crohn's disease, IBS, other gastrointestinal ailments, those all qualify. So if you or a loved one have those, contact our organization, or if you need help finding a doctor or you want to know how to approach your doctor about that, just call us at 503-235-4606. Guess we do have another caller. Hello, caller. You're on the show.
Hello? Nope.
Oh, nope. They gave up.
You know, it's time for me to say that it took the state 61 days to get my card. So you people are waiting for a card. That's how long it took to get mine. 61 days. Not too bad. It was 90-something last year.
Hey, they cut it back by a third. You can't beat that. Well, maybe you can, but in Colorado, the law requires that they issue those cards within 30 days.
Yeah, they have to do it within 30 days.
Yeah, they have to do it within 30 days. And generally, they do it within about 2 weeks. In Oregon, though, there's no real time limit on it. I guess, when did your card expire compared to when you got the new one in the mail?
Mine was expired way before I got it in the mail. My card expired in December, and my new card, I filed for it in the new one in December and didn't get it until 61 days later.
So you got 2 free months?
I did.
Hey, well, you can't.
I did.
That's another good thing.
2 free months for another $100.
Yep. Yep, they did raise the fees on us, though. The year before, it was just $55. I guess they are short-staffed there, and fortunately, the attitude in their office has gotten a lot better over the past couple of years. They're a lot more customer service-oriented than they were a few years back. So I praise those folks down there in the Oregon Medical Marijuana Program office.
They were nice to me when I was there.
In Hawaii, it's a lot different. There, it's the Narcotics Enforcement Division of the state police who handle issuing the cards, and those guys hate the cards. They don't like them, and they make it very, very difficult. In fact, they make the doctor collect the fee, and the doctor has to turn the patient application into the state. They even tell the doctor that the patient can't leave the doctor's office with a copy of the application. The doctor can't let the patient have a copy of the state application. The doctor has to turn it in directly and pay that fee, and then the card is actually sent back to the doctor, and the doctor has to sign the card, then the doctor has to give the card to the patient. So it's a lot more involved process for doctors there, and they've been able to actually shrink the program by 22% over the past year.
They hate competition.
They do. They
hate
big.
competition.
There's a lot of organized crime in Hawaii.
Really?
So, yeah. So it's pretty pervasive, especially on Oahu. Now, the weird thing about Hawaii is the big island of Hawaii has about 6% of the people, and they have 60% of the cards. The island of Oahu has 80% of the people, and they have less than 10% of the cards. So they are able to crack down on the people in Oahu. Actually, Oahu has 80% of the people, but all the other major islands, the big island of Hawaii, Maui, and Kauai, all have more card holders on each one of those than the population center, Oahu, does. So that's pretty interesting. Well, I want to thank our audience for tuning in again and spending another hour with us. We'll be back next week. Just tune back in. Anything you want to say in closing, Don?
I think we'll go home and vaporize some of this.
I think that's a good idea.
Okay.
It's time to vaporize. So tune in next week. Tim, Don, we're going to let you go out, and I want to encourage our audience to help us restore hemp. Good night.
Good night, Ramona.